It's 9 a.m. Pacific time. I am in Washington State in the United States. That's on the West Coast, just above Oregon, the state of Oregon, which is just above the state of California. Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
Hi, teacher.
Can you turn up your microphone just a little bit? So, Maria, are you from Mexico? Colombia. Okay, good. Great. All right, so you ready to do some reading? Oh, I see some other people are joining us in the VerbLink chat. Hi there, Gustavo and Iman and Tara and Maria Jose. So during the first few minutes here, the first 2 minutes is when the VerbLink Premium members can come into class. And if you would like to have a premium membership, you can try it out for free. I gave the link at the very beginning, the very top here in the VerbLink chat. So if you would like to go to that page, it shows you some ways that you can get some free reservations. And then if you like that program, you can join it for $25 a month. All right. Let's see who else we got here. We have Diego. Hi, Diego.
Hola.
Hola. And Tolga. Hi, Tolga.
¿Qué tal?
Bien,
Good
gracias.
morning.
Hi there. Good morning. Everybody's coming into class. Okay, great. In this hour, we're going to be having a reading class. And I don't have my headphones on, but I'm going to see if I can hear all you guys okay. I put the article up already in the chat, and I'm going to put it there again. It's right there. It's going to be about business. It's kind of a business topic. It's about meetings and changing your meetings from sit-down meetings to walking meetings. So we're going to read this article and find out why this lady thinks that's a good idea. Okay? I think we're full here, so let's just say hi to everybody and welcome. There are quite a few people viewing. I just want you to know that if you would like to follow along in this class, it is a reading class. So you do have the link there to the document that we will be reading. It comes from Wired.com, which is Wired is a magazine in the United States that talks about technology a lot, business, culture, entertainment, things like that. So that is what we're going to be doing. If you did not get into the class because it is already full, you may stick around. Sometimes in the beginning here, the first few minutes, the technology does some weird things and people come in and out of the Google Hangout. So if you do see the join class button again at any time, that is when you can join the class. Otherwise, these are the people who are going to be with me in the Google Hangout this hour, and the rest of you can listen to us read and read along with us if you'd like. You can also participate in the VerbLink chat. As you see, people here are already typing things. So if you want to do that, that's fine. Okay. So here we go. Hi, Diego. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm excellent
Great.
today.
Wonderful. And Tolga, how are you? Tolga, where are you from?
Me?
I can't hear your microphone very well. It's kind of fuzzy. Yeah. Does anybody hear it very well? Kind of
Yes, yes, Lisa.
You hear it okay?
Yes, Lisa.
All right. I'm gonna go to. Did you hear Tolga okay? Or are you hearing me okay?
We are hearing you. Okay, Lisa.
Yeah. So Tolga, maybe do something with your microphone. I don't know. It's kind of maybe turn up the volume or something. Hi, Gustavo. How are you doing?
Hi, teacher. Very fine. And you?
Good. Is that your little baby there?
Yes, it's fine. Little baby.
Cute. How old is it? A girl?
It's a boy. It's a little boy.
How
Yes,
old
3
is he?
months.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And hi, Ismail.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
All
It's
right.
nice to see you again.
It's good to see you. Okay. What time is it there in Turkey now?
It is 5 past 6
6. Oh, okay.
p.m.
So what happened for us here in the United States is we just changed our clocks ahead, and that's called for us daylight savings time. So right now it's
Summertime.
9. Yeah, so we're a little bit closer in time. Okay, Luis, hi, how are you? Luis, are you there? I'm saying hi to everybody, and I'm also checking that your microphones are working because this class you're going to need to read out loud, and so you have to make sure that your microphone is working. And sometimes what happens when you come into the Google Hangout window, your microphone is muted. And the way you find out if your microphone is muted is you can look here above your Verbling chat window over here on the right side. This is a microphone icon, a little picture. If it's red, then you are muted. So if you are muted, you have to click on it to unmute so that you can, so I can hear you. Luis, if you're talking, I cannot hear you. Are you there? Okay, Maria. Is your microphone working? Okay, it's kind of low. Maybe you can turn up the volume on your microphone. Okay, and Osama, how are you doing?
Hello, everybody. Hello, teacher. I'm fine. Thank you.
Great. And Tomas, how are you?
Hello, teacher. Hello. I'm fine. I'm from
Okay.
Argentina.
Okay, great. Wonderful. And hi there. I can't read your name. It's in Russian.
Yes, I'm from Russia. My name is Sergey. I'm well.
Good. Great. Wonderful. Okay, Luis, I'm going to try one more time here. Are you there? Luis? Martin? Martin? Okay. All right, there should be a join class button because I can't have people in the class who don't have a microphone working. So Luis, you can try again or somebody else can come in. Okay, Maria, you made it in. And Tolga, did you get your microphone to work? I need to make sure it works. It's not working. Cannot hear you. So go out of the class and try coming back in. Sometimes that works to fix your microphone. Because if the microphone's not working, it doesn't work. And Maria, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing fine. Thank
Okay.
you.
Good. All right. Great. Okay. Let's see. Tolga, did that work? Now you're probably muted now, so go and unmute. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, let me see. Get some headphones for myself. Okay, everybody, did everybody go to the Google document yet?
Yes.
Okay, Tolga,
Yes.
try talking again some more, so, just to make sure that it works. Hello. Okay. It's not great, but we'll try it. It's a little fuzzy. So, okay. All right, here we go. So the way that we do the reading class is I am going to screen share the article. And let me get that up for you. Like I said before, this is an article from Wired magazine. And it's called Kill Your Meeting Room, The Futures in Walking and Talking. So, as many of you know, especially if you work, have a business or something, and you have to go to meetings. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, great, thank you.
Yes.
Just checking. Okay, so you need to go to meetings. Oftentimes people just sit around in a meeting. So that's the more typical way to do meetings. And this person is suggesting and giving advice on the idea of changing your meetings to walking meetings. So instead of sitting around at a desk or a big table and just sitting there for a long time talking to each other about things, get up and walk around. So that's the article. And the way we're going to be doing this is I will read, and when I read, I usually highlight something like that, and then I read it out loud, and then I ask one of the students to read what I just read. So the purpose of this is when I'm reading, you will be listening. So you're listening to my pronunciation and my rhythm and the tone, and then when you're asked to read, you try your best to imitate me or to talk like I do. Not exactly, of course. We all have our own specific accents and the way that we talk, but in terms of pronouncing the words in English, I'm the model, okay? And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Also, as we're going through, you may have questions about what something means. You can ask. After we finish reading the entire article, we will go back and go over some more of the vocabulary and make sure everybody understands it and have a general discussion. Maybe this brings up for you some of something related to your own life, and we will talk about that. Okay? So I'm going to read first, and then Tolga, you're going to be the first person who will read after. Okay, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think somebody just dropped out, so if you are watching, for example, Maria Jose, if you want to get in, I think there is one place available, so you should see the green join class button. All right, here we go. Kill your meeting room, the futures in walking and talking. Sitting has become the smoking of our generation. I argued this in my recent talk at TED 2013 and elsewhere, while advocating for the concept of walking meetings, or, as I informally call them, walk-and talks. Simply put, we spend more time sitting, average 9.3 hours a day, than sleeping, 7.7 hours. And it doesn't even occur to us that this is not okay. So instead of using a standing desk, doing sitting meetings over coffee, or meeting in some fluorescent lit conference room, I do one-on-one meetings as walks. It resolves the trade-off between taking care of health and getting stuff done. Okay, Tolga? Tolga, can you read? Tolga, if you're reading, I cannot hear you. Is your microphone muted or something? Check to see if it's muted. Yeah, I can't hear. Gustavo, yeah, it's not really working. Gustavo, how about you read that one? Gustavo? Where'd all my readers go? Okay, Ismael, how about you start? I don't know what happened to Gustavo. Maybe he had to go check the baby.
Yes, Lisa.
Okay, great. You're there. Go ahead and read that one, starting with sitting has become.
Yes. Sitting has become the smoking of our generation. I argued this in my recent talk at TED 2012 and elsewhere while advocating for the concept of walking meetings, or as I informally call them, walk-and talks. Simply put, we spend more time sitting, average 9.3 hours a day, than sleeping, 7.7 hours, and it doesn't even occur to us that this is not okay. So instead of using a stand desk, doing sitting meetings over coffee or meeting in some fluorescent fluorescent lit conference room. I do one-on-one meetings as walks. It resolves the trade-off between taking care of health and getting stuff done.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to tell Gustavo to unmute your microphone. Just click on the microphone at the top of the verb link chat, or if you just put your cursor over your picture, you'll see your name, and then there's a microphone, and if it's muted, it's red, so you just have to click on it to unmute it. Okay? All right. The solution seems so obvious, yet it raises all sorts of but questions. How do you take notes? How do you collaborate without a whiteboard? What about cell phone reception? Can we improve mobile meeting technology? This last one is a panel theme at SW this weekend. That's a conference, technology conference. Okay, Julissa, hi there.
Hi, Lisa.
Did you get the link?
Yes, I got
Okay.
it here.
All right, go ahead and read. Thanks.
The solution seems so obvious, yet it raises all sorts of bad questions. How do you take notes? How do you collaborate without a whiteboard? What about cell phone reception? Can we improve mobile meeting technology? This last one is a panel theme at SW this week.
Okay, good. Okay, Gustavo, it sounds like it's working, so you can read this next one after I read it.
Okay.
Okay. It's interesting that we immediately turn to technology here, that all of these obstacles revolve around technology. But technology was meant to facilitate meetings, not drive them. Technology was meant to connect us, yet it more often disconnects us. And part of the reason I believe we should all do walking meetings is to really connect with the people we're meeting. Okay, Gustavo.
Okay. It's interesting that we immediately turn to technology here, that all of these obstacles revolve around technology. But technology was meant to facilitate meetings, not drive them. Technology was meant to connect us.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it more often disconnects us. And part of the reason I believe we should all do walking meetings is to really connect with the people we're meeting.
Great. Do we really need to take notes in meetings? I am appalled by people's disingenuity here, because often we're not taking notes on our devices during meetings. We're doing email, or we're surface skimming for the tweetable line. We're not engaging. Dividing our attention is like living on a diet of cupcakes. Bring us short-term happiness, but long-term emptiness. All right, I have to edit their article here a little bit. It brings us short. Okay, there we go. All right, Maria, go ahead.
Which Maria?
You.
Okay, good.
You're next in line.
I'm appalled by people's disingenuity here, because often we're not taking notes on our devices. Taking notes on our devices during meetings. We're doing email, or we are surface skimming for the tweetable line. We are not engaging. Dividing our attention is like living on a diet of cupcakes. Brings us short-term happiness, but long-term emptiness.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. Does everybody understand what that meant, skimming for this tweetable line? Did you understand what that meant, Maria?
I'm not sure if it means to write a tweet or looking for an interesting tweet.
Yeah, looking for. So to skim something means to look quickly at it, just to and that's what most people do when they're searching the internet. They're just like quickly going through things and not really spending a lot of time looking at it. So that's called skimming. And so you can imagine a person sitting there with their iPhone or something and just looking at different things that they might want to tweet rather than paying attention to the meeting. Okay, so technology as Sherry Turkle at MIT has shared, can make us less, not more, connected if we don't use it intentionally. It's become common practice over the last 5 years for everyone to have their devices out in meetings by default. So I'm not sure there's much intentionality there. Okay, Maria Jose.
Okay, how are you, everyone?
Good, thank you.
Okay.
Glad you made it in.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Technology, as Sherry Turkle at MIT has shared, can make us less, not more, connected if we don't use it intentionally. It's become common practice over the last 5 years for everyone to have their devices out in meetings by default. So I'm not sure there's much intentionality there.
Everybody know what intention means? Intentionality? Anybody?
On purpose?
Yeah, good. Yeah, so they're saying here that we should be using our technology devices, so our phones and things like that, by you say with intention, so on purpose, with something in mind of why we're using it, but instead it's really more like the default. So it means that the default is what is always happening, what happens. So like when you start your computer up, maybe you have a browser, I use Chrome, and my home page is by default Google. So it means that's what it is. So they're saying by default everybody already has everything out, rather than being very intentional about using it. It's just what everybody does. So, and do we really need a device to record the key ideas out of an hour or half-hour meeting? If so, there are some easy ways to take notes during a walking meeting. Siri, take a note. Anyone? Does everybody know what Siri is?
Yeah, it's some sort of voice.
Yeah, it's on your iPhone. So on your iPhone, if you have Siri turned on, Siri's the name of the lady who talks to you. That's her name. And if you turn Siri on, you can just say things to it and give her commands, and she'll do things like write your email or send a text message or take a note for you. So you can. It's a voice-activated service. Okay, but if an idea strikes me as noteworthy, I actually signal it for my walking partner. That's really insightful. I want to remember that. And then pull out a device or hop online when the walk is over. If I feel like I've forgotten something, I just drop them a short email or text asking for clarity. Unsurprisingly, people easily and precisely recall their own points. Okay, Osama.
Okay. And do we really need a device to record the key ideas out of an hour or half-hour meeting? If so, there are some easy ways to take notes during a walk-in meeting. Siri, take a note. Anyone? But if an idea strikes me as unworthy, I actually signal it for my walk-in partner. That's really insightful. I want to remember that. And then pull out a device or hop online when the talk is over. If I feel like I've forgotten something, I just drop them a short email or text asking for clarity, and surprisingly, people easily and precisely recall their own points.
This one right here, precisely.
Precisely.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what it means. Ultimately, it's the absence of a device that lets me be present and listen with full attention. I believe this attention is the currency of our current work-life era. What efficiency was to the industrial era, relationships are to the social era. Walking without technology keeps our attention and relationship bank balance high. Okay, Suhad?
Yeah, teacher.
Can you read? Hi, how are you? You want to read that paragraph?
Okay. Ultimately, it's the absence of a device that lets me be present and listen with full attention. I believe this attention is the currency of our current work-life era. Efficiency? what efficiency was to the industrial era, relationships are to the social era. Working without technology keeps our attention and relationship bank balance high.
Mm-hmm. Good. Letting go of meeting artifacts. Artifacts are the things you use. So like whiteboards. Whiteboards, agendas, these are the common artifacts of meetings. Yet they're not always effective, and questions around walking meetings expose these gaps. For instance, how do we share notes if walking? The answer, beforehand. Walking meetings force information to be sent in advance. Okay, Tomas?
Yes, letting go and meeting artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
Whiteboards, agendas, these are the common artifacts of meeting, yet they are not always effective, and questions around working meeting expose these gaps. For instance, how do we hear note if it's working? The answer
Answer.
beforehand. Working meeting force information to be sent in advance.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to correct the pronunciation on this one, agendas. So it has a j sound. Agendas there.
Agenda.
Agendas, yeah. Okay. Too many people wait until the meeting to share information, resulting in the first 20 or 30 or 40 minutes spent on background, which means the most expensive time, 8 people in one room, primetime hours, are used to do data transfer, not idea building or problem solving. Sending information in advance has obvious benefits, including more time for research, formulating ideas, and asking other people about their points of view to inform a better discussion. Perhaps more significantly, it allows those who are naturally quiet or introspective to contribute more meaningfully. Okay, Sergey?
Yes, I'm here. Too many people wait until the meeting to share information, resulting in the first 20 or 30 or 40 minutes spent on background, which means the most expensive time. 8 people in one room, prime time hours, are used to do data transfer, not idea building or problem solving. Sending information in advance has obvious benefits, including more time for research, formulating ideas, and asking other people about their points of view to inform a better discussion. Perhaps more significantly, it allows those who are naturally quiet or introspective to contribute more
Meaningfully. Meetings are broken, and the associated artifacts are our crutches. Walking meetings help us, well, walk and meet instead of relying on those crutches. The ultimate crutch is our mobile devices. They've practically become a body part as we're almost always digitally connected. According to a Pew study in November, 67% of mobile device owners, which is about 87% of America, check their devices regularly, even when it doesn't ring or signal the arrival of incoming messages or emails. Okay, Gustavo?
Okay. Meters are broken. Yeah, let me put here. Okay. Meters are broken, and the associated artifacts are our crutches. Walking meeting help us, well, walk and meet instead of relying on those crutches. The ultimate crutch is our mobile device. They've particularly become a body part of we are almost always digital connected. According to the Pew study in November, 67% of mobile devices owners, which is about 87% of America, check their device regularly. even when it doesn't ring or signal the arrival of incoming message or email by one of them.
Okay. Almost half, 44% of Americans, sleep with their mobile device next to them, and 40% of 5,000 people interviewed in a Time survey published last August admitted to using their mobile device while on the toilet. Sadly, the first thing I do before hugging my son or kissing my husband in the morning is pick up my mobile device. I do that. Ismail.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Almost half, 44% of Americans sleep with their mobile device next to them, and 40% of 5,000 people interviewed in a Time survey published last August admitted to using their mobile device while on the toilet. Sadly, the first thing I do before hugging my son or kissing my husband in the morning is pick up my mobile device.
Yes. Okay. The right meeting for the right outcome. Walking meetings and all of the above changes help meetings be shorter. More importantly, walking meetings force us to pick the right meeting format for the right goal. And we should also match the right technology to the right goal, especially according to management expert Terry Griffith, when it comes to group memory and group effectiveness. Okay, Julissa.
The right meeting for the right outcome. Walking meetings and all of the above changes help meetings be shorter. More importantly, walking meetings force us to pick the right meeting format for the right goal. And we should also match the right technology to the right goal, especially according to management expert Terry Griffith, when it comes to group memory and group effectiveness.
Okay. Brainstorming meetings, for example, should have a common recorder so you walk out with a single bucket of shared ideas. Project planning meetings should use a shared tool and shared visualization of schedules. But one-on-ones are best for exploring ideas, connecting with one another, and developing shared purpose. For those, there is nothing better than a side-by-side walk. Okay, Maria.
Yeah, where did you start? Was
brainstorming?
Brainstorming meetings, for example, should have a common recorder, so you walk out with a single bucket of shared ideas. Project planning meetings should use a shared tool and shared visualization of schedules. But one-on-ones are best for exploring ideas, connecting with one another, and developing shared purpose. For those, there is nothing better than a side-by-side walk.
Okay. Write that down. With activity trackers, we now get credit for any activity. In this case, technology raises visibility and awareness without interfering with meetings. There is, however, one technology I advocate for in walking meetings: fitness trackers, like Jawbone Up or Nike Fuel Band. I use the Fitbit activity tracker as it allows me to hide the device rather than accessorize snazzy outfits with a plastic wristband. Okay. Maria Jose.
Okay. With activity trackers, we now get credit for any activity. In this case, technology raises visibility and awareness without interfering with meetings. There is, however, one technology I advocate for in walking meetings: fitness trackers like Jawbone App or Nike Full Band. I use the Fitbit activity tracker as it allows me to hide the device rather than accessorize snazzy outfits with a plastic wristband.
Does everybody know what the word accessorize means?
No.
Accessories. Like something like an umbrella or something. I don't know.
Yeah, an accessory, mostly it's women who accessorize. That means you put stuff on. your body, and you use accessories. So accessories would be things like earrings, rings, jewelry, bracelets, necklaces, anything that you kind of add to your body that you're going to wear, not beyond just your clothes. So watches, things like that.
Yeah.
Those are your accessories. So sometimes if you're going shopping with women, they'll make a joke and say, we need to accessorize. And that means they need to go buy some stuff to put on. So, but men have it too, but men would be more like watches and hats and things like that.
What is snazzy?
Snazzy means fashionable, like very
Okay.
snazzy, and if something looks snazzy, it looks cool, or it looks maybe it's like bright and shiny, and it's just something that
Okay.
it's a word to means cool, basically.
Okay.
Okay, before using this technology, things like walks didn't even count as exercise. That category was reserved for going to the gym or going on a run instead of walks. As long as those types of exercise remained siloed activities, that's a weird word. Okay. That means just like that's an obscure word. You probably won't ever use that, but it means just like to get just in one place. They're focused in one area, not everywhere. So as long as those types of exercise remained siloed activities, they always directly competed with the category of getting things done. People to meet, ideas to develop, deliverables to complete. So basically, she's saying that you think of things as different when you're working. For example, you have all these things you have to get done, but then exercise is usually thought of something separate, a separate category. But now she's combining them, so you're getting exercise while you're also getting all of these things done that you need on the job. Okay, Maria Jose? Oh, wait, you already read. Hold on. Suhan.
Before using this technology, things like walks didn't even count as exercise. That category was reserved for going to the gym or going on a run instead of walks. As long as those types of exercises remain siloed activities, they always directly competed with the category of getting things done. People to meet, ideas to develop, deliverables to complete.
Yes. Deliverables. Those are just, in business, they talk about deliverables. The things you're supposed to get done, like a report, you have to deliver it to your boss. That's a deliverable. But with activity trackers, we get credit for any activity, not to mention a viable feedback loop. With walking meetings, I can easily do 10,000 steps or about 5 miles. In this case, technology raises visibility and awareness without interfering with meetings. This small practical change has made a huge difference in both my health and relationships. I've even begun to think of my days in chunks of walking time, writing time, phone time, and so forth. Okay, Tomás.
Yeah. But with activity tracker, we get credit for any activity, not to mention a viable feedback loop. With the walking meeting, I can easily do 10,000 steps or about 5 minutes. In this case, technology raises visibility and awareness without interfering with meetings. This small practical change has made a huge difference in both my health and relationship. I've even begun to think of my days in chunks of working time, reading time, phone time, and so forth.
Okay, good. I'm not arguing that we should ditch technology. Ditch means to get rid of. I'm not arguing that we should ditch technology in the workplace or for our meetings. technology has its place in work. Of course it does. But as with all things, technology should be there to support human connection, not get in the way of it. All of us sitting and staring at our devices is not the way to spend our time, in meetings or outside of them. Okay, Sergey?
I'm not arguing that we should ditch technology in the workplace or for our meetings. Technology has its place in work, of course it does. But as with things, technology should be there to support human connection, not get in the way of it. All of us sitting and staring at our devices is not the way to spend our time in meetings or outside of them.
Okay, good.
That's all.
Great. So, before we go, I wanted to make sure everybody knows what a silo is. So she used the word siloed, and like I said, it's not very common as a verb like that. But you may come across it sometimes. Let me see, I gotta get it in screen share window. Hold on.
Solo it maybe.
Yeah, what she meant with that is that compartmentalize. So when you compartmentalize things, it means you put them, you separate them. So this is actually what a silo is. So in the United States, we have big farms, and they have silos, and that's where they put grain. Sometimes, especially if you have like a dairy farm with lots of cows, you might put grain in there, and it ferments, and then it becomes silage, and that's what you feed to your cows. So that's what a silo is, and so it's like a little, well, it's not little, it's big, a big compartment. And so that's what she was just trying to use that word to describe how people they compartmentalize the things in their lives. So exercise is separate from work and the things that you need to get done. Okay, Ismail, you wanted to know what does not get in the way of it. So what does it mean to get in the way of something? Anybody want to tell us?
Interfere or
yes.
be an obstacle. Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. That's exactly right. Yeah. So, for example, you can get in someone's way. For example, if they're walking and you get in front of them, you're getting in their way. So people don't like it when you get in their way. So that's what it means. Does that make sense, Ismail?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me get back to the article here. Okay, good. And this last one right here, I wanted to tell you also ditch. So if you ditch somebody or ditch something, that means you leave them. So sometimes when you hear kids say, you know, they're going to go downtown, they're going to walk around or something, and maybe some kids left one kid, that kid will say, they ditched me. That means they left me alone. Okay? Yes, and an obstacle is not resistance. Somebody's asking in the verbling, Muzamil. Obstacle is something in your way. So, for example, if you're riding your bike on a path and there's like something in your way, I don't know what would be in your way, like maybe a big rock fell down from the mountain or something like that, and it's covering the path, that's in your way. It's an obstacle that is in your way. It's something that prevents you from moving forward or doing what you have to do. Okay, does anybody have any responses to this idea of walking? First of all, I guess I wanted to know how many people sleep with their cell phones by their beds.
Yeah, I do.
I am sleeping with my cell phone. Lisa.
You're sleeping with it?
It's because there's an alarm bell. I use the alarm bell.
Yeah, me too. That's what I do. I use the alarm. Ismail, you sleep with your cell phone?
Yes, but I try to put a little away from my head.
Yeah, yes.
I read about it is not healthy.
Yes.
For human being.
Yes. That Well, that's what
Yeah.
people say. We're the big experiment right now, whether or not it's healthy. Yeah.
They are
Okay.
waving electromagnetic.
Uh-huh. Electromagnetic fields and things.
Yes.
Yes, that's what they say. Yes. Anybody else sleep with their cell phone next to them? Oh, you guys are pretty good. Okay, yes, but Julissa, did you say that you I thought I heard you say something when in the article when she was talking about checking her cell phone before kissing her husband and saying hi to her kids.
No, I didn't
No.
say. But yes, I use it as an alarm too, my cell phone.
Okay.
But I put it on the floor. Yeah,
Oh,
not
on
in
the
my
floor.
not on
That's a
my
good
bed.
idea. Yeah, okay. That's good. Okay, great. Okay, so what did people think about walking meetings? Has anybody ever gone on a walking meeting? Do you have in your business maybe, or with clients, or with maybe with a teacher or professor if you're a student? Have you ever gone on a walking meeting?
No.
No?
You usually sit down.
Yeah, that's the more common thing. Ismail, how about you? Do you ever do walking meetings?
Lisa, I have never been in a walking meeting, but in my workplace, we are sometimes talking about problems by walking with our boss or with our comrades.
Oh, uh-huh. Yeah.
But it is not official walking meeting.
Yeah. Right.
For example, when we are going to eating room, we are talking about problems by walking.
Yeah. Like when you maybe if you're going out to lunch or something and you're walking together, you're talking about stuff.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. Julissa, have you had that experience walking around the office maybe or something with your coworkers talking?
No,
No.
not like that. But listen, I don't know if I understood correctly, but in these meetings they are walking around discussing things, but they are using their artifacts or not? They
No.
are not using.
Not using.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she said that she's basically saying that these meetings are good for one-on-one. So that means just you and another person. And because that's the type of meeting that you're doing, you don't really need all of those things because I'm trying to find it. Because if you really need to remember something, you can use like Siri. You could just take a note right then. Or if you forget something, you can just you know, call that person or email them and say, what was that thing that you told me that I wanted to remember? And they'll remember it probably is what she's saying. So what she's saying is you have to really choose the right format for the type of meeting that you want, and that there are a lot of times where you're going to have a one-on-one meeting, and instead of just sitting down at a desk or a table or something and sitting there for an hour, you could go for a walk for an hour.
Lisa,
Because yes, go ahead.
I can say something about the meetings.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know why in the company of one of my friends,
Uh-huh.
they one day had a meeting in a theme park, in an amusement park. How do you
Yeah.
say?
Amusement
And
park or a
was
theme park.
yeah, and was strange because I thought that how can you focus on the meeting in an amusement park?
Yeah.
And he told me that he boss said to him
Yeah.
that fun makes you makes easier to retain the ideas, to how do you say, to remember the ideas and to develop
Yeah.
your thoughts, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that goes back to what she was saying in the earlier part of this article, where she was saying that actually a lot of times nowadays, because of all of the cell phones and the smartphones and the devices that people carry around with them, and it's almost like it's part of their body, she said, that in reality, what happens for a lot of people in meetings is that they're not paying attention. They're not really giving their full attention and focusing. They're fooling around on these devices, checking their emails, looking to, at Twitter, looking at Facebook, things like that. And so, yeah, something that maybe gets you out of that environment and maybe away from your technology. And even though you're surrounded by an amusement park with rides and things like that, if you're talking and you're walking around, it's probably more interesting and stimulating. And so you have ideas come to you rather than if you're just kind of bored. You're sitting there bored in a meeting. That's what I would think that would be maybe a good thing to try. Of course, it all depends on what kind of meeting you're trying to have. Yes, Judith?
And the kind of work.
Yeah, the kind of work you're trying to get done.
Because in this way, most it's not like a meeting, it's more like a conversation, so you feel more relaxed, and that's why the ideas,
I think this kind of meeting is ideal for creative work. You need to I don't know, maybe develop some system or something. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and what was she telling us the benefit also? So not just that you get you outside, but what about the fitness aspect of it? How many steps did she say she could take? Does anybody remember?
10,000.
Yeah,
I think
10,000. So it's funny that I found this article because just last night I went to a bookstore and I was reading some books, and one of them was talking about, I guess there's this idea that to be healthy, you should walk 10,000 steps per day, and that people who are overweight, they often walk a lot less than that. And so this is kind of what I think this person is interested in talking about too, is that because we spend so much time at work, most people in the United States, if you have a full-time job, you are working 40 hours and oftentimes more. So a lot of that time might be spent sitting in front of your computer, sitting in a meeting, sitting at lunch. And so she is looking for ways to get healthy and be fit while getting things done, getting her work done. So she says she can, in these meetings, she can get that much done just by walking instead of sitting in the meeting. So I was thinking about that, like, so Maria, I know that you work on the computer, right? For your job. How do you fit in walking or getting exercise with your life on the computer?
How do I combine it?
Yes, how do you fit it into your life or combine it or make sure that happens for you?
Yeah, I would like to say here, I used to advocate walking before sitting. I don't know, is that the right proposition here? Before or in
before
front?
sitting? Okay.
Before sitting. Now I am sitting way too much. But I know that just a short or brief walk makes me more alert.
Alert? Yeah, you can say that.
So even if I just walk like, a short distance.
Like get up and walk around your house or something. Yeah.
Especially now when it's like cold outside, I instantly get more focused. So that's the way I resolve it right now. I try to take short walks, at least when I have a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. And Sergey, do you have a job where you sit a lot or not?
Yes, I have a job on which I must sit a lot.
Yeah. And so do you like the idea of having walking meetings or somehow getting walking in your life?
I couldn't agree more. It's all the problem, and now I think I can nothing do about it.
Mm-hmm. Is it? I would imagine that because even for me, sometimes I live in Washington State and it's kind of cold and wet during the winter, and so sometimes it's not very appealing or very fun to think about going outside and walking. But how is it in Russia? Are you used to the snow, and do you get outside and walk, or what do you do for exercise or for getting some exercise?
Now it's spring outside, and
Yeah.
we haven't got much snow, and
Oh, good.
this winter was extremely mild.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a bonus.
Yes, yes. I think soon we will be able to play football in
Oh,
Vilnius.
wow. Good. All right.
And it's a problem. There is more dirt outside,
Yeah.
and
Mud.
it isn't pleasant. It isn't pleasant to walk in such weather.
Yes, exactly. And Tomas, are you there?
Yes,
Hi. Do you have a job where you have to sit for a long time?
yes, I work with computers and the most time I sit.
Yeah. So do you get up and move around sometimes, or how do you make sure you get some exercise?
Sorry,
How do you get exercise?
yes, not in work, but in my time, in my free time, I play tennis.
Okay, nice. Okay. And Suhad,
Yeah.
do you go walking very often or get exercise that way?
Yeah, I'm walking every day,
Mm.
and I'm a teacher, so I'm not sitting
You're
always.
not sitting, yeah. You're
Yeah,
walking around the class.
yeah,
Nice,
and
that's good.
I'm walking every day. I take my children to the park to
Uh-huh.
play. So I still always sitting, walking or stand.
Yeah, great. Okay. Okay, Maria Jose, you have to go. Goodbye. Okay. Hi, Kurle. You just joined us. Hi there.
Hello.
Hi. Did you hear the article? Did you read it with us? Or
Yeah, yeah.
no? Okay. So, do you spend a lot of time sitting, working on the computer?
No, I'm walking.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not sitting, but at the evening I try to sit in front of computer.
Okay.
So my working is not sitting.
Oh, okay, that's good.
It's more going.
What do you do?
I'm teaching.
Oh, okay. Great.
So
And
maybe you are sitting during the lesson, and but you try don't to sit so long time.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And Kurle, where are you from?
I'm from Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Okay, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ismail was wondering. Okay, Julissa, do you walk every day?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm working every day.
Oh,
I work 6 days.
oh, that's good.
6 days in a week, and only Sunday is weekend
Uh-huh.
for me.
Your rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Julissa.
Yes, yes, listen, I like to walk.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I can walk, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I like non-stop.
Mm.
And I think this is a very interesting idea for meetings.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I would like
it's
to have that kind of meeting.
yeah, just going away from the office and
Mm-hmm.
being in a different place, it makes you more relaxed. And
Mm-hmm.
it's It's a different feeling. Yes.
Yeah. Ismail, you're not happy about sitting so much?
Yes, I am not happy. Lisa, I have to sit on the table.
Mm. Do you work on a computer a lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
I try to walk in the lunch break
Yeah.
when the weather is good.
Yeah.
On sunny day,
Mhm.
especially.
Yeah. And Gustavo, do you sit a lot in front of a computer?
Yes, I am programmer and a web designer, and I
Oh,
spend almost all my day in front of a computer.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I'm getting fat this year because I didn't walk.
Me too. That's why I'm going to get up and walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why. I mean, I'm thinking a lot of us spend so much time in front of the computers. Maybe with these smartphones, we can do something that's for our jobs on the smartphone, so we can walk around and also work or something.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, I hope everybody gets outside today and gets to take a little bit of a walk. It's an interesting idea to count your steps, like just see how many steps you're actually taking, because I think people think they take more than they actually do. So it's a kind of an interesting experiment to figure out how much you actually walk in a day. Okay. Uh-oh, smartphones are going to kill us. I hope not. All right, well, thanks for coming to class, you guys. It was an interesting topic, and hopefully we can all get a little bit more walking into our lives and get off these computers. But they're also very useful, so it's hard to get away. And I'm going to be teaching a couple more classes later tonight, so if any of you guys are awake at that time and want to come and do some more sitting, you can join my class. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you,
everyone. You are welcome.